There are 8 billion people in the world. What would happen if they all lived in one building? Well, we're about to find out.
A little over 3 months ago, I released a video about what if everybody on Earth lived inside the same
Adam,
city.
that's the
Today,
Earth,
we're going
if
to
you
talk
didn't
about
know.
something perhaps even more terrifying.
The Earth's flat.
What if everybody on Earth lived inside the same building?
That has to be the tallest
How
building
large
of
would
all
this building
time.
have to be to house all 7.4 billion of us alive?
There's over 8
right
billion
now?
people nowadays.
It's not as strange
So
of a
even more.
question as it
I think it would have to be at least 3,000 feet. What do you guys think?
I'm gonna say it probably touches the moon.
Yeah, well, it matters
No,
how wide
no,
it is,
no,
too.
no,
If it's just like a 1 foot by 1 foot giant, like, you know, it matters how
can't even
wide
fit.
it is.
All right, calm down,
Alec,
Cyrus.
you're
calm down.
only
Alec.
3
Calm
feet
down.
wide.
I didn't know, like, how wide.
How wide
Alec,
are the
you're
people
3
or
feet
you?
witty. You
'Cause,
got
yeah,
it.
you're big, buddy. You need to calm
Yeah,
down.
you're
You're
gonna
not
need
fitting in
some
this
space.
building.
Okay, I'm gonna say the building needs to be 3 miles high.
At least 4 Alex wide.
3
more.
miles high.
It's gotta be more.
It's not as strange of a question as it may seem at first. This picture right here is the town of Whittier, Alaska, and by that I mean that the entire town is located inside of this one building.
Whoa.
The
What?
entire city's
Everyone lives in
population of
there.
214 people.
Oh,
for
that's
the
That's
most
not
part,
a lot of
lives
people.
inside
That's not a lot
this
of people.
single building, and they really don't have to ever leave it. This is
Okay.
because almost all of the
Imagine that building. That was only 200 people. Imagine 7 billion people. How big that building would have to be. That building was big.
That building was like the size of an apartment complex
Really
in
trying to
Idaho.
understand.
Why
So
is
it's-
Alex
it's-
so
it's-
torqued up?
It's like
this?
kind of big, but like it was only maybe like 100 feet tall. So let's 100 feet times 7.4
I didn't know
billion.
Alec
can't
had
wait to
such
see.
a fascination.
That's
Neither did
gotta
I,
be-
but this is
It's gotta
interesting,
be
dude.
all the way to the moon. That's what
This
my
is-
guess
this
is.
is
Make sure you
cool.
guys comment down below what you guys think. How tall would this building have to be?
To Mars? To Jupiter?
No,
to
no,
Saturn?
no,
Just the
no,
moon.
no,
Just
no,
the
I don't
moon.
know.
you would normally find inside of a city are all located inside of the building. Inside, you can find the city's police department, the post office, the mayor's office, a general store, a grocery store, a
What?
hospital,
How
a
is that
laundromat,
all
That's
in
pretty
there?
cool.
hotel, a church in the basement,
Wow.
and even an indoor playground complete
Oh,
with
cool.
a swimming
What?
pool.
That's
The
actually pretty
building
cool
is the
for
city,
200
and
people.
the residents of the city
looks
can
crooked.
stay indoors almost indefinitely whenever the weather begins to get bad because all of the city's services as well as their homes are all located inside of it. But even still, just 214 people live here,
That's
which
not
is
even
nowhere
close to
near the
7.4
entire human
billion.
race. So let's get
That's
bigger
what I
and
was
bigger
saying.
Pretty
buildings with
close.
the largest seating capacity. The AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas,
100,000,
is the home of the Dallas
120,000.
Cowboys and is truly
64,000.
enormous, larger than the U.S. Capitol building and capable
Yeah,
of
it's-
seating
it's less than what I
80,000
said.
people, which means that you could
80,000
comfortably
people.
seat the
That's a
entire
lot of people.
population of Andorra.
But that's just
inside of
like
it.
seating
But
them.
it
That's
still
not
isn't
taking
as big
care
as
of
the
them.
largest indoor
That's true.
stadium in the world, which is located here in Pyongyang, North Korea, and is called Rungrado
130,000.
First of May Stadium. It has
Oh,
the
wow.
capacity to seat 114,000
Ooh,
people.
wow, that's a lot of people.
What do they
34,000
have
more
there?
That's in North Korea?
They have,
Yeah, but-
I would say, about 114,000 seats.
What do you think
But
they
what
do
do they
there?
do there? Like, what kind of activities?
Do they just like fight?
Probably
to the
soccer,
death?
if I had to guess.
A
Soccer.
potato race? Like a sack
potato race.
I don't know. I don't know.
Well, what
Wow.
else? Like, what? I don't know. What else could even be in there? That's that interesting.
I think they
It's
do
gotta be soccer.
rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
Could be.
No, that has to be it. You're right. Great thought. Great thought, Adam. Brain blast.
Good idea, honestly.
Okay, dude.
The AT&T Stadium, or about the same population as the island of Kiribati,
don't
or
know
about
where that
20% of the population of Wyoming. But even that
That's
isn't
such a
as big
weird
as the largest
stat.
ever planned indoor stadium, which would have been constructed in Berlin by Nazi Germany had they won the Second World War. The building would have been
That's
called
rough.
the Volkshall and would have been capable of seating 180,000 people
wow.
inside, about 5%
That's quite a
of the
bit of people.
population of modern-day Berlin. The building
Not
would have
anywhere
been
close to
so
7.4
enormous that
billion,
German
though.
architects calculated that
Well, thank God it didn't get built, you know?
Why are they using this as a reference, bro?
That is good.
Seems like they had the
I-
blueprints and everything for this one.
Yeah, this is very good that this was not built. Let's
Yeah,
let's give them-
seriously. This could have been really bad.
Yeah, I wonder what they would have done in there.
They're
So,
just trying to understand the scale of how big things can get
that's
to contain.
that's pretty big. That's a lot of people.
That is a lot
180,000
of
people,
like
it's
all of
big,
these
but
people
not
breathing inside of
7.4
it could have
billion
actually
big.
created artificial rain inside, causing the building to have its own weather.
Artificial
If
rain?
we move to outdoor
Oh, wow.
stadiums, however, which would still be one building in a sense, then we can fit much more people. The largest outdoor stadium currently is the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, capable of seating 235,000
Whoa.
people.
Wow.
The entire population
Yo.
of Reno, Nevada. But once again,
That's
the
insane.
Nazis had plans for an even larger stadium
Okay,
in
what
the
is
event
going
of a
on?
victory in World War II. Their plans were to construct the Deutsche Stadion in Nuremberg, which would have been capable of seating a massive 405,000
Holy
What?
cow.
What would you
Bro,
do there?
What is this
Horse
video?
races?
What video?
I don't know. What does this have to do with how many people?
No, they're
can
trying
fit
to.
in one
They're trying to make
building?
you understand how many people could fit in a human-made thing.
Whoever made this video brought up Nazi Germany twice. Like, what is their
They had
issue?
to.
They
The
are
Nazis
doubling
had
down.
big expectations.
They are doubling down on this
Yeah,
theory
seriously,
here.
what is
All
going
right,
on?
405,000. That's 500,000. That's nowhere near. That's
All
not
right,
even
Jack,
1%
lower
of
your voice.
7.4
Lower
billion.
your voice. You're way too like in on this. Like,
No.
I'm just saying, they're trying to get the scale. We're not even close to 7.4 billion.
more than the population of New Orleans and over 5 times the seating capacity of the AT&T Stadium. Hitler planned that after Germany won World War II, every single Olympic Games for the rest of history would take place here at this stadium. But because the war was lost, the stadium was never finished. However, the largest building anywhere in the world in terms of how many people are meant to fit inside of it would be the Great Mosque in Mecca, Saudi Arabia. During the Hajj period, the mosque has the capacity to fit 4 million
Whoa,
people
4 million?
inside of it, which is greater
Wow.
than the population of
Wait a
Panama.
second,
There
wait a
are
second.
buildings
That's
that
insane.
could, in theory, fit more people than this, though. They're not designed to fit people, but we're going to see what could happen if we did so anyway.
Okay.
Before we get started with this part, though, let's figure out how many people we could safely fit inside of 1 square meter. After a lot of research,
That's a good idea.
it seems that anything over 5
One?
people per square meter could be potentially dangerous
Okay.
and lead to people trampling
5
each other.
people in
So,
1 square
at the
meter?
highest limit, let's
Well,
go
yeah,
with
they have
about
to
5
get that
people
so that
on
they can
average.
figure out how tall they can build this giant building.
Dude, everyone's gonna be smushed together. So
Well, yeah,
thi-
they're trying to make it
this-
smushed but not uncomfortable. They're trying to make sure that everybody like has a good living space.
No, this is not living space though. I was under the impression that everyone would live in this building and like have
They
their
will.
own room, their own.
They will.
No, this is saying 5 people per square meter. That's
No,
a
yeah,
3
they're
by
gonna
3.
live. They're gonna live in that. Some people live in that.
3 feet by 3 feet, Jack. 4 people in each. 5
Less
people.
than that. 3 feet is a yard. A meter's less.
So you're saying that how would anyone live in that?
They gotta figure it out.
Dude, you're crazy.
I don't know
I think
what
that this
Alex
is just
saying, but I agree with Jack.
Okay, dude. This is just, I'm pretty sure this is just saying how many people could fit in a building, not
Could
like live.
Well, let's see. Let's figure it out.
able to possibly fit into 1 square meter. The largest building in the world in terms of its physical footprint on the Earth's surface is going
Is
to
it
be
Tesla?
the Tesla Gigafactory once it's
Yeah.
fully
Whoa, how'd you know
in
that?
Nevada. It's
I'm really
gargantuan
smart.
when
Jack
compared
loves
to the AT&T
Tesla.
Stadium and the U.S. Capitol building, and it would take up a physical space of 530,000 square meters, or a
Whoa.
little larger than Vatican City, which means that you could fit the world's smallest country completely inside of the boundaries of the world's largest building. At 5 people per square meter, that means that you could fit 2,650,000 people
Wow.
inside the building all indoors. More people than live in all
Okay.
of Namibia. So we're at the scale of entire countries worth of people fitting inside one building now, but we can still get much larger. The largest building ever designed in terms of the floor space that it would occupy was the
What is
Crystal
that?
Island building, which would have been
This is
built in
real?
Moscow
Never heard of
were it
that.
not halted. Had it have been completed, it would have
Oh.
possessed
Oh, it's not
2.5
completed.
million square meters worth of floor space.
Wow.
Oh my
which
gosh, that
combined
looks
could have fit
awesome.
A staggering 12,500,000
Wow.
more than the entire population of Belgium. But we can still go even bigger if we begin to take a 3-dimensional view rather than the 2-dimensional view that we've had so far. With this in mind, the average height for a modern human is roughly 1.63 meters. Therefore, if we construct a cube with a 1 square meter base and a height of 1.63 meters, then we could fit 5 average humans inside of it. This gives us
Okay.
0.326 cubic meters per person, or 3.07 people per cubic meter. With this math in mind, the largest building in the world in terms of sheer volume is the Boeing Everett factory located in Washington. The building
Oh,
possesses
Boeing.
13.3 million cubic meters
Oh,
located
wow, they can
entirely
fit a lot of
indoors,
people in
which
that.
is
That's
so
a
large
lot
that
of
the building
people.
has its own microclimate somewhat similar to what the proposed Volkswagen in Berlin would have been like. Adding floors into the building with an average height of just 1.63 meters each, capable of fitting the average human inside,
Oh
and we
my
could theoretically
gosh.
fit 40,831,000
no way.
Wow,
inside of
40
here, which would
million
be
That's like
equal to the
20% of
entire
America.
populations of
That's still
Denmark,
nothing,
Norway,
though,
Sweden,
compared to
that's,
8 billion.
There's still so
Iceland,
many
That's like
more they
20
have to
million,
do.
Alex.
Latvia, and Lithuania all combined, and still have room left over for all of Serbia just for good measure. That's the largest building in the world,
Wow.
though, and that's still not even 1% of the entire
So we
human
just
population
do that,
could
and then we
possibly fit
stack it
inside of
on top of one
You have to
another.
do that
Keep
100
stacking.
We
times.
could construct a new building, and if we did so, what is the smallest possible size that it could be to fit all of us? Well, at the time of making this video, the world population is currently 7.478 billion people. If we
my
crammed
gosh.
people into the same density as we did inside the Boeing factory, then we would require a volume of 2.436 billion cubic meters, or 2.436
Oh my
cubic
gosh.
kilometers. The building would be a cube with sides of 1.346 kilometers in
That is
length
the
and a
death
height
cube
of
right there.
That looks like someone from
That
Star
is
Wars.
This
huge.
seems big, but placed in downtown New York City, it would actually look like this, inside of which you can actually
Kevin.
fit
Wow.
every single human.
Well, I mean, they make it seem like it's not that big. Those are
Fortnite already did
skyscrapers
this.
next to it, dude. Like when you stand next to a skyscraper, your neck is broke looking up at it. And this is like 8 skyscrapers tall.
That doesn't
Compared
even-
to
it
a
doesn't
human
look that
being,
big.
yeah, you're not gonna be able to understand the size of this.
Right. I'm just saying it's a lot taller than they make it seem out to be, I think. Because look, like these little buildings on here, that is a
the
skyscraper.
size- it's like at least 5 Eiffel Towers. It's got to be at least like 3 Empire State Buildings. It's
More.
huge.
More. These are almost the size of Empire State Buildings at the bottom, like at the bottom of it. It's almost the size of it. That's got to be like 8, probably 9.
Wow.
It is massive. Yeah, that is enormous.
If there was a ladder on the outside and I offered you $50,000 to climb to the top, would you do it?
No, I would not.
Jack?
I'd do it for 60.
Deal.
You guys are crazy.
It's
You
a
guys are
ladder. You just
crazy.
climb the ladder.
Dude,
I'd
that is
climb that
that
ladder.
it is. It's a mile high. I don't think I could
no, it's
physically
more,
do that.
I'd climb it. I'd climb it.
He'd
in-
climb
Okay,
it
dude.
because he's not a loser.
And how are you getting down? How
I'm gonna
are you
have
climbing
a,
down?
Alec, listen
You
to
take
me.
the elevator.
I'm gonna have a parachute.
Yep.
Oh,
Yeah,
or the
Oh, a
elevator.
parachute could work. Actually, I didn't think about that. That's fair.
Human being
How
know
tall
alive
is this
today.
cube?
The tallest building in
1.3
the world is the Burj
kilometers.
Khalifa at nearly 830 meters high, but the tallest building under construction that will be done in 2020 is the Jeddah Tower, which will be much higher when finished at
Yo.
1,008 meters.
Whoa.
Only
Oh my
330
gosh.
meters
Is it done?
short
The
of our
Jeddah
mega
Tower?
Cube.
That's
the base
tall.
of the cube would only be about
That's half
5
a mile
times larger
high.
than the Tesla Gigafactory as well. So building the cube is certainly within the realm of possibility. And if it was built, the entire human race alive today, all 7.478 billion of us,
We
could
should do
all
it.
fit inside of a building that would only take around half an hour to jog around.
But we couldn't live in it. We would just be able to fit. That's all. That's all it's saying.
Now we need to figure out exactly how tall the building would be if we could all live.
We couldn't live, but could we love?
Agoraphobia is defined as the fear of open spaces, public transit, shopping malls, or simply being outside of your home. But is the
Oh,
fear really
Adam has
realistic?
that.
And is it actually possible to live an entire life completely indoors? And weirdly, if the entire human species suffered from this phobia, then could we all theoretically live inside of one gigantic building and not ever have to leave
Imagine
our
playing
homes,
hide and
or at
seek in
least
that
never have to
building.
leave
That would
the
be
comfort of the building?
awesome.
You'd
The
never
answer is
find
yes,
them.
but let's first
Impossible.
take a
It
look
would
at
be
some
impossible,
real-world
but awesome.
concepts before venturing into the
Dude, the
detailed
staircases
insanity
and the
of all
elevators
living,
in that would
eating,
be
sleeping,
insanely
and breathing
long.
in the same building.
True.
Perhaps the most realistic proposal of fitting an entire city's worth of people inside of the same building is the Shimizu Megacity Pyramid, which is planned to be built in the
inside
Bay
of a
Tokyo
pyramid.
in Japan. When finished, the pyramid is expected to be 14 times
Oh my
taller
gosh.
than the
What?
Pyramid of Giza
What?
in Egypt at just over 2 kilometers
That can't be
tall.
real.
and will
No,
be
no,
No
there's no way they
way.
finished that.
1 million people who will
That's
live inside of
insane.
it. That means that the
What?
building
That's
could support
crazy.
the entire population
That
of
would
the
actually be
US
kinda
state
sick,
of
though.
Montana, or house the population of entire large cities like San Jose, California, or Cologne, Germany. The building would have 8 square
Wow.
kilometers of floor space when finished, which is 4 times larger than the actual country of Monaco, and even larger than the UK territory
Holy
of
smokes.
Gibraltar.
Dude, that is
However,
insane.
a building this massive cannot actually be built
can't
with
do that.
current construction technology.
I know it.
Construction is anticipated to begin in the year 2030, and the building is
Okay.
projected to be completed by the year 2110, which is
No!
ludicrous if you think about it.
It's gonna take
That
80
is
years to build?
93
Wow.
years from now, if you're watching
That
this
is
video
Adam,
way
you were
too
close.
late for us.
which, think of all the history that could possibly happen within 93 years, and this building still may not even be finished after all of that. It's not completely unprecedented, however. This cathedral in the city of York first started being built in the year 1220. Imagine being the first person who laid down the first brick to begin building this cathedral. He would have spent his entire lifetime working on the project, and so would have his son, and his son.
Oh my
and
gosh.
His son,
No way.
And his son.
That is
and so
crazy.
On until 252 years later,
No
the cathedral
way.
was
Wow.
finally finished being built. 9 generations would have passed from the time that the first person began working on it. It would have been like if your relative from 1765 had begun building something and you today, right now, just finished it. You probably can't even think of any relatives that you may have even had.
All right.
And that problem would have been even more
That's
severe
actually
in the Middle
crazy to
Ages.
think about.
A distant
Crazy.
relative would have begun building a building and their name would have been long forgotten, but you, centuries later, would be still working on and completing what they had originally started anyway. It's very strange to think about, but let's move back to the mega pyramid
That's
building
kinda cool,
in the
actually.
distant future of 2110.
I do want to hear about this
Power
pyramid.
is generated by solar panels on the building's
Okay.
trusses. Transportation is provided
Wait, really?
by massive accelerating walkways, elevators, and personal rapid transit tubes with automated shuttle pods that zip from one part of the building to another. The building is
pretty
full
cool
of
idea.
homes, offices, restaurants, stores, and is a fully functioning
gotta
city
have
of
everything.
1 million people who live
Yep.
entirely indoors. Nobody would have to really ever leave, but 1 million people isn't all of us, so let's envision something like this, but on a much larger scale.
It has to be
First
7
off,
billion
let's
times
envision
bigger.
Where would be the
That would
most
be a
strategic
big
location
pyramid.
on Earth to place a building that could house all
Bermuda
7.478
Triangle.
billion of us?
South
My
America.
answer is probably Brazil, and specifically right here. The reasoning for this is
Why?
largely because of water, since 12% of all the Earth's surface freshwater
Oh,
is
that makes
located in
sense.
Brazil, and the second largest dam in the world is located nearby.
Oh, that's
I'll get
cool.
more into the reasoning later, so let's assume that we've moved everybody's houses and homes as they are together into one place. Everybody on Earth gets to keep their current size living space, so what would this
Oh,
look like
wow.
altogether? For reference, the average US house built in 2013 was 241 square meters in size. According to the UN, however, 13% of the world population lives in 5 square meters or less of living space. 28% have between 5 and 9
Wow.
square meters of space, 24% have between 10 and 14 square meters, 18% have between 15 and 19 square meters, and only 18% of the world's population lives in 20 square meters or greater sized houses.
Wow.
Wait a second. Is that saying? No, that's not saying like what I think it's saying, right? Like okay, like our house is maybe like 300 square meters. I don't know exactly.
I have no idea.
This is saying 2,500 square feet is 240 meters. And this just said 13% of the world's population lives in 5 square meters? 5?
Yeah, it is what it's saying.
Wait, is that a tiki hut? What is that? Or a
It's
tiki hut?
really tiny.
We're probably
Yeah.
in the top like 5%, Alec.
Of house owners?
Yeah, no, we're lucky with the
Wow.
space that we have. Most people don't have a lot of space.
But like 5? Dude, they said like 10 meters of
That's-
space.
Yeah. You're probably on top of people. That's just
That
how
is crazy.
That's how some people live.
Small apartments, I guess, counts.
If you're in
yeah.
New York City, you're probably
I
in that
feel like
13%.
you're talking
I didn't
about,
think about
like
that.
a literal box. Like you're living in a box, bro.
Your room is like 3 square meters.
Yeah.
That's 13% of the population
Yeah.
lives in your room.
I wish.
American houses are certainly not the global norm, and averaging out all of these numbers gives us a building with 90,860 square kilometers of living space in a two-dimensional view, about the size of Jordan in the Middle East if it was all just one floor. But if we constructed the building to be as high as the current tallest residential building in the world at 414 meters or 101 stories high, then the living space of everybody on Earth would take up an area of around 900 square kilometers on the surface, a little less than the size of the
Wow.
Faroe Islands
That's
in Denmark.
nothing. That
As
is
for
literally
food,
nothing.
After a lot of research, it appears that sweet potatoes are
Yeah.
the most calorie-intensive
That's what I was
crop that
thinking.
you can grow. If we utilized efficient farming techniques and made use of vertical farms with artificial sunlight, we could construct a 1 cubic kilometer building that would be dedicated solely to producing sweet potatoes for our population. Each cubic
That's all we eat?
farm
I
could
do like
produce
sweet
enough
potatoes.
sweet potatoes to feed over 27 million people a
What?
1,500 calorie per day diet. So if we also built 275 of these buildings connected
just
to the
eating
main
sweet
living
potatoes?
space, then we could feed the
That's
entire
it.
human race
And only
inside
1,500
a
calories,
steady
that's
diet of
nothing.
pure sweet potatoes. Since humans need to drink 2 liters of water to survive each day, and the nearby dam has a reservoir of 29 cubic kilometers, we could have enough drinking water nearby to last us for over 4,000 years.
What?
Of course, some of the water would be used for other purposes like agriculture, but it would still be enough to last for centuries using all of our needs
Wow,
inside
I didn't
the
realize we had
mega
that
building
much
if we kept
water.
maximum
You got a
efficiency
lot
of
of
Dude,
water
that
and
looks
nothing
sick.
goes wrong.
That is cool.
Finally,
You would live
we
there?
need space for other things besides just
Probably.
living.
There's
In New York
skyscrapers on
City,
top of
about
a giant
75% of
skyscraper.
the zoning ordinances are for residential property, while the remaining 25% is for commercial, manufacturing, transportation, or park space. If we kept that same ratio in our mega building, then we would add an additional 225 square kilometers worth of building space on the Earth's surface that would stand as high as the residential portion. Altogether, our mega building that could house all of humanity in the same living space that they live in today, complete with all water needs, a diet of pure sweet potatoes, stores, parks, and transportation, would take up an area of 1,339 square kilometers
That is
on the Earth's
nothing,
surface,
man.
still just a little smaller than the Faroe Islands in Denmark.
That
The
is
parts devoted
crazy
to
to think
water
about.
storage and agriculture would be 1 kilometer high, and the rest of the building would be 414 meters high. In terms of power, the nearby dam would provide a lot of it, but probably wouldn't be enough to power the entire building. It is estimated that a solar panel array the size of Spain could provide enough power for the entire world's energy needs. So, a grouping of solar panels of this size nearby the building would provide way more than enough, since humanity would be using much less energy all concentrated together.
Okay.
Transportation
Solar
would be
panels
just
around
like
the
in the
world.
Shimizu megacity pyramid, handled by thousands of elevators, walkways, and
Okay.
automated shuttle pods moving in tunnels inside the building. Life wouldn't exactly be very nice on a diet of sweet potatoes and never being able to leave the
That's
building.
what I'm
But
saying,
in a
man.
catastrophic event like a nuclear war, global warming,
Yeah,
or a
one
meteorite
small
impact that could
fire,
cause living
it's all
outside to
over.
become
The whole
lethal,
building
then
goes
something
into
similar
a
to this
fire,
may
and then
become
everybody's dead.
necessary.
Yep.
The political situation inside would certainly be messy, to say the least.
That's true.
There would
That would be
probably a wealthier
crazy.
section with more living space and a poorer section with less.
I feel like the bottom would be a lot of the poorer people, and then like the top would be like the hierarchy,
How did you get to that?
where you actually get like fresh air and stuff.
Are you a
Dude,
genius?
The poor
Oh
people
my
are on the
gosh.
bottom, and then the
How
rich
did you
people are on
think of
top.
that?
I was thinking about it for a while, actually.
Wait,
this
no
entire
way.
video.
No
Oh my
way. The poor
gosh.
people are on
And-
the bottom, and then
and-
the rich people are on the top.
And you move up the levels as you get richer and richer and richer.
I honestly, I thought they would be all mixed around, you know, like equality. But
Yeah,
no.
I thought like poor people will live in the mansions on the top of everyone else, but
I didn't think
no,
about it
the way
like
you
that.
put it is like that's genius, Adam.
Thanks, guys.
Nice.
Thank
I don't
you.
know if I can
That
think
was
about
sick.
it like that.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
It may take centuries and generations to build it, and most people would certainly not want to live this lifestyle, but still, it is technically possible that we could all live in the same amount of space that we do now in an area no larger than these islands in the Atlantic Ocean.
I can't believe that. That is absolutely insane.
Wow. That is absolutely insane.
If you guys also agree that that's insane, make sure you guys leave a like and click on this video for more insane stuff.